And I was like, man, how to become a millionaire? Because at 17 years old, I made the decision that I was going to be a millionaire no matter what.
What's up, guys? Today we have a special treat for you, Mr. Andres Ospina himself.
Hello,
What's
hello. What's
cracking,
going
bro?
on, man? How you doing?
Dude, so like you were just talking about your story where you were homeless, living in a property you're flipping.
Right.
And then that's like how you kind of got started into the whole real estate investing. Like, tell us about what it's like to be homeless and living in a house that you're actually flipping. Like, tell us the story.
Yeah, man, it was wild. So, basically, my first fix and flip was in 2015. And yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like the house, we had to gut it right away.
Okay.
So I had no kitchen. I had no bathroom. There was a Wawa, a gas station that was like 5 minutes away. So every time that I needed to go to the bathroom, I would have to go to the gas station, right? I had to hold it in. And it was pretty nuts, man. I thought that it was going to be doable, right? I was like, oh man, this is genius. Like, I'm going to buy this house. I'm going to flip it.
Yeah.
I won't need to pay rent. Like, this is going to be amazing. And yeah, dude, I found out that it wasn't that fun because I had like I told the guys like, hey, look, this is going to be my bedroom.
Okay.
Make sure that you're painting it. You make sure that everything is good. Close it up. But
so you're the contractors, right? So like
the contractors.
So you gutted the whole house basically.
Yeah.
No bathroom, no kitchen,
nothing.
But you said, let's set aside this room, make it nice and clean so I can sleep here while the work is going on.
Yeah, fix it up, at least paint it, get done with it, so I can live in it and be good. And I told them finish one bathroom first.
Okay.
But it was crazy, man. Like I had a nice, beautiful, like 55-inch screen TV.
Okay.
That was big at the time.
It was in your bedroom?
In my bedroom.
Okay.
And I told them like, you guys got to be careful, cover everything up. And dude, I come home one night and the whole TV is just like wrecked with like white paint and it's got plaster on it. And it's like I try to rub it off and it doesn't come off. And every time that I see the TV, I just remind myself of like, damn, what am I doing here? Like this is nuts, man. And like my whole wardrobe, and I used to dress like really nicely too.
Okay.
I had suits on, I had like a little vest, like I used to look good. I even had like everything.
So this was all in your closet in your bedroom.
Yeah, and I open it up, and all I see is just dust everywhere, and I'm like, oh man, dude, this is not right. This is not cool. And like bringing dates over too, like so, it was wild. I tried to play with it too, and it didn't work.
So I mean, like basically looking like you have like a wrecked house, right? Like it's all in construction, and then you're trying to date at the same time and bring girls over to your room, and like what did they say, or what's the experience?
No, I try to play it off. I mean, usually I try to bring them after
Okay, after all the work's done,
semi-remodel and whatnot, but. Yeah, it didn't work, and I just said, this is too much. I need to upgrade, and I was also like couch surfing, at my friend's house. Or
usually when you look at someone who's flipping houses, we assume you have a lot of money,
right?
But then so at that point in time, like, how were you financially? How come you didn't just buy your own house versus like you wanted to live a house you're gonna live?
I didn't really have a whole lot of money back then.
Okay,
no, I probably had like $25,000 to my name at that time.
Okay.
And the flip required me to put like $20,000 into it. So I basically put almost all my
money.
So
your whole life savings is inside this one flip here.
Exactly. I pretty much had no money, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go all in. Let's make it happen. I need to save some money, so I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen.
I love it, man. So I mean, like you're all in on real estate. Like it was your very first flip.
Yeah, very first flip. Yeah.
And so you're living in it. Like you're kind of all in. I mean, like did you end up making money on this guy?
I did, yeah. So after I got my $20,000 investment back, I made $20,000.
Oh, awesome!
So we made a 100% return in about 7 months.
Okay. So but then you were living there for 7 months, and like that, and so you're saving money, but it was just like a really difficult like life situation.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts, and that was probably one of the only ones that I actually put like some sweat. Equity into it. I actually like demoed a lot of the house. I put a bunch of sod out in the front yard. It was like a beautiful lot, but it was like half an acre. And I basically sodded the entire half acre, which was
how long did that take you?
Dude, it was too long. I wasn't used to the hard labor. But it was well worth it. Yeah.
What we're talking about, like you've kind of been like a hustler your whole life, like working hard, making things happen. Like, how did you get to the point where you started your first level? Like, what were you doing before that?
Yeah, so I came to the United States when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
I started working as a
Where'd you come from?
I came from Colombia.
Okay. Yeah. Just you by yourself? Yeah.
It was just me and my mom.
Okay.
My mom came from Colombia to the United States.
Okay.
Basically chasing the American dream.
Yeah.
Like we come from a very poor background. There was a lot of civil unrest and
in Colombia
instability
during that
in
time.
Colombia.
I mean, all I know from Colombia is watching Narcos. I mean, like, was like a lot of like
Dude,
drugs.
it was nuts. It was nuts. It was like 2000, and Narcos wasn't a big thing back in the 2000 age, but it was a lot of crime. You know, there was a lot of instability, and so yeah, you know, my mom had a sister in Florida, and basically it was like, okay, hey, look, we're gonna go visit her. We're gonna go to Disney, hang out, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
And we ended up staying, you know, for basically until now.
Nice.
And so it was a beautiful thing that my mom did.
So you guys moved over to Florida.
Yes.
And then like you're 9 years old.
Yeah.
What was life? How did you eventually like find your way into real estate?
Yeah, so I started working at a puppy store. I started making $5 an hour.
Okay.
At 9 years old, and they just had me do grunt work. I was cleaning. I was, you know, taking care of the dogs. Saved money from 9 years old.
Okay.
At 18 I bought my first car.
Nice.
And I had like the mentality of like, hey, I have to make my money work for me, right?
Yeah.
And so I think when I was 18 or 19, I had like $20,000 saved up.
Wow.
And,
wow. I mean, as a 19-year-old working at a puppy store making $5, that's like a lot of savings. Like you're super disciplined in order to save that much money. I mean, even me when I was like 30, I think I didn't have 20 grand to like lay in cash to my name. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And it was you know, it was a hustle for sure.
Yeah.
I was working overtime, and again, I was just budgeting and saving everything that I had. And at $20,000, I was like, okay, I need to make this money work for me. Where do I put it so I can invest it and grow? Mm-hmm. And somebody approached me with a cigar shop. Business idea, and it was basically $15,000 for the business. And I checked the inventory.
15 for the business and the building, or
it was just the business. So
$15,000
for the business. The inventory alone was worth $15,000 at cost, $30,000 in retail. So I knew that it was a deal from the beginning. So basically, I partnered with somebody who knew how to run the cigar shop, and he ran it. I put the money, and we split it. We put about $5,000 into it to make it nice. And then we sold it a year later for $40,000. Wow!
So like you put in 20, you got $40,000 a year later. Yeah. And then you guys made $20,000 profit, and you just split it 50-50.
Correct. Yeah. 50-50. Yeah.
So you made 10 grand. It's kind of like your first flip, really. Like you flipped the business, right?
So that was the first flip, and not only that, but it also taught me a lot about cigars. And it also taught me about just the people that smoke cigars are usually like, you know, people who are wealthy or people who are just business oriented. And it's kind of like playing golf, you know, people go to the cigar shops to talk business, talk shop. So I realized that this was a world that I wanted to be a part of too.
So you kind of got around the successful people who are doing deals and doing business. Was there kind of like a common theme to all the people who used to come to the shop?
Yeah, I met a lot of bankers, and I possibly met some real estate people at that time. And so I guess that, you know, that was just in the background. Like, so
ingrained in your head, it's like bankers and real estate is kind of like the way to become successful in America.
Exactly. So that was a pretty good network opportunity as well.
So after you guys sold the cigar shop, what was like the next step in your...
Yeah, so the next thing that we did was actually, so back in 2011 and 2012 when like gold prices were going up, we actually opened up a gold shop.
Wow.
You remember like the we buy gold signs everywhere? So we had a little shop, and it was kind of like it was also a pawn shop too. Which was an interesting market to be in.
When you say you opened it up, like what does it take to open up like a we buy gold shop? Is it just you buy a place and then like you just say like, hey, we're buying gold? Like how does that work?
So it kind of happened so the cigar shop that we had originally purchased had like an extra space that we weren't really doing anything with. It was just like storage. So essentially what we did when we sold it, we kind of partitioned off one section of it and turned it into like a little shop.
So you kept
You
kept the space for the cigar shop for like your new venture.
Exactly. So we just turned that. And it was pretty much like free for us to do it because we kind of negotiated it into the deal. So they were kind of paying our rent. So that was kind of like a win-win. So yeah, we had like a 800 square foot space, and we just opened up shop. We just put like a little ghetto sign that said we buy gold, and the people just kept flocking in, and it was crazy because we got crazy amounts of people and crazy looking people.
So like when you look at people are buying gold, what is it like? How much are you buying it for? Do you have to like fix it up? Are you selling it? What does that look like as far as numbers go?
So yeah, I wasn't really in the operations that much, but basically we had a gold scale, or we had a scale right to weigh it, and then we had a tester to make sure that it was real. And basically we just we basically keystoned it. So if we could sell it for $1,000, we would give them $500. That's basically
so, you buy by half, and there's that person profit.
Yeah, we would always double it. So
and then do you have to like do any like melting it down or reform it, or you just
No. We didn't do any of the melting at all.
Okay,
No, we had somebody who would come
on
in
the back end. So you already knew what your price is. So it's kind of like wholesaling in real estate, where like you have leads, you open up a little thing, and then once the customers come in, you negotiate the price, and you sell it in the back end to like another retail buyer.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Yeah, we didn't have to do any of the work. We didn't have to flip it. We didn't have to melt it down or anything. Yeah, we just basically sold it as is, and that was it. So it was a pretty interesting world. We did that for about a year. I didn't personally like it because it was just a different type of clientele, and it was very volatile. And we had like the cops come in because there was people that would like steal gold, or they would steal things, and then we would be involved. And I was like,
they try to sell you the stolen goods. You mean
exactly.
Smart.
So how are we supposed to know? So it's like we have to play cops. It was too much.
So if you guys have you buy stolen things, do you have to just give it back to the police, or how does that work?
I didn't even get involved in that. I have no idea. When I saw the cops come in, I'm like, dude, I'm out, dude. I'm not even a citizen. I got to get out of here.
That's crazy.
I can't deal with this. I can't go to jail.
So you weren't like a citizen at that point in time? So.
No, I'm not a citizen right now.
Oh, really? Okay, okay. I mean, that's cool. I love it. So.
Yeah, still working on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I will be soon. But yeah, that business was definitely not for me. It was it was rough. It was tough. But I mean, we made some money. It was good. But the type of clientele. Just wasn't what I like. Yeah.
So you got out of the gold biz. Did you buy? Does your partner buy you out, or how did you get out of that?
No, we just sold it.
Okay.
We sold it, and I think we kind of broke even on it.
Okay.
We didn't make a whole lot of money on that one, but I still had some money, and then I decided to get into the stock world.
Okay.
I did stock trading for about a year, and I made like a 7% return.
Okay.
So it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah. I mean, like the thing about stocks is like there's like the high risk, high reward section, or there's like the low risk, low rewards, or it's more stable. But it's hard to like guarantee you get rich. First, like I think in real estate, if you just have the skill set, it's almost like guaranteed that you're gonna like make a huge return, right? So
exactly. Yeah. And I just kept like I had to watch the news every day. I woke up super early.
You're trying to beat the market, right?
Dude, it was
information,
insane.
right? So
and it was like, okay, I'm investing into something that I can't touch or feel.
Yeah.
And I'm like investing in companies that I don't even control.
Yeah.
And it's all motion based, and I was like, man, this is not the right piece. This is not for me. And basically I kept looking online. And I was like, man, how to become a millionaire? Because at 17 years old, I made the decision that I was going to be a millionaire no matter what. Like,
Tell me about that. I mean, like, what made you decide that you wanted to be a millionaire at 17?
Dude, it was a mindset shift that I had that I never really got what I wanted when I was a kid, right? I always wanted a PlayStation, and I never got it. I wanted a TV in my room, and I never got it. Yeah. And I think one point I was like, man, you know what? I don't want to have this lack. I want to have enough money so I can buy what I want when I want without having to ask anybody. And at that point, I made the decision that I was going to be very wealthy. Probably for materialistic things at first. Obviously, now it has shifted and evolved.
I feel like every person when you first start, even for myself, is like, I Google like, how do you get rich, right? And then real estate will pop up. But the thing is, like, if you don't have your needs met first, like the beginning, like I hear people who are just starting real estate, they're like, I want to invest to like help the world. I'm like, I call BS on that. Like, you're just trying to get rich to help yourself first, right? But it's a nice story to tell people that you're trying to help others. Right. At a certain point, once you have enough, now your why can change. But in the very beginning, you're just trying to get enough so you can provide for yourself and your family, right? So,
Yeah, it definitely did shift. Yeah. I think at 27, I made the decision that I was going to be a billionaire. And that was for a different purpose. Okay. Right? Because the billionaire is like, okay, now it's like, now you can help people.
Once you have $1 million, you have enough to like you have a decent, comfortable life, right? Where like you don't have to like, you're not really wanting for too much. Right. But then the next level is, okay, now how can I help other people?
Exactly.
So 17 years old, you make a decision, you want to be a millionaire. Yep. What's the game plan to get there?
Dude, so I was just hustling and working hard and trying to figure out how to sell my way there, right? Okay. So I've sold Cutco knives. I've sold life insurance. I've sold roses from Colombia. Okay. I've pretty much done it all. Okay. So in 2014, it was pretty much where, I went on Bigger Pockets, started just downloading all the information that they had. I saw one podcast from one guy that became a millionaire in 3 years, flipping houses and owning rentals. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be the path. This is the way I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get my real estate license so I can learn and dive deep into this world. And that's pretty much how.
So you got your license in Florida?
I got my license in Florida, and that was the first thing that I did.
Okay.
Because I figured, so if I'm going to be buying and selling real estate, I might as well
get a commission
and save commission on the back end. So it was kind of like a natural thing. And I also said I want to get engulfed in it and I want to learn everything about it.
Yeah. So you want to be immersed in the world, and by having your license, you basically eat, sleep, and breathe real estate for the next however long when you have your license, right?
Exactly. And that's pretty much how I started, and it was really good. I started in the retail world, right?
Okay.
So I've always done about 2 to 3 flips a year. So I started slow. Now I do more, but I started doing about 2 to 3 flips a year. And I first started as a retail agent.
So when you say 2 to 3 flips, you mean like buying houses, renovating them, and selling them?
Correct.
So like 2014 was the first one you did when you're living inside of it.
Yes.
And then you made 20 grand on that one. And then how did you get and then you started to continue to roll? Like, how did the next one come about? So
the next one, I went to a lot of real estate meetups, met a lot of wholesalers, and actually became really good friends with a lot of different wholesalers.
Okay.
I got in, I started getting different emails from different wholesalers, and from there I've actually been buying from wholesalers. Different opportunities.
Yeah.
So the next 2 or 3 were from wholesalers. And then at one point I was like, man, this is great, but the real wealth is in the owning rental properties.
Yeah, the long-term wealth.
Exactly.
Right? So.
Like I've always loved Warren Buffett because he's just, hey, buy and hold. That's it. Just hold on to it, and it'll eventually, make you rich.
It goes up in value. You get some cash flow. There's a lot of like tax depreciation, etc.
Exactly. So. Yeah, tax appreciation. So, it was basically a mixture of, okay, now I'm ready to buy my own house. I'm ready to have some independence and stop living in my flips.
Okay.
And in 2016, I bought my first house for me to live in.
Okay, congratulations.
And I bought it with an FHA loan.
That's huge. I mean, like that's like you're stepping your way up slowly. Like you're hustling, selling roses, Cutco knives. I mean, like you're hustling, you're living in your own flip, and then eventually you get to a point where, okay, now I can afford my own house, and like I feel like that it's American dream, right? Like you have a house and like some decent income, and you're just missing the white picket fence and the wife and the kids.
Yeah,
right? So.
Exactly. So yeah, dude, at the time that was the same year that I got married, so that was cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then basically it was a 3-bedroom 2-bath with a 1-car garage, and we lived in the master bedroom. And then rented out the other 2 rooms on Airbnb.
Wow.
So we had people from all over the world staying with us, staying in our living room. They would cook in our kitchen. So we got to meet hundreds of people all over the world, from like India, that like they told us like, hey man, dude, we love you guys. Anytime that you go to India, we have a watermelon farm, very, very big. You guys come. You guys are gonna be our guests. Nice. Like, so yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing meeting people from all over the world and just experiencing that. That was pretty cool. And also the rental income too. We were making about $1,200 a month.
So you're making $1,200 from Airbnb, and what was your mortgage at the time?
The mortgage was $1,200.
So how many rooms do you guys have?
It was a 3-2. We lived in the master, rented out the 2 rooms.
So you're making $2,400 a month from the Airbnb. You're living in the master, and your rent was only, or like your mortgage is only $1,200.
Yeah.
So you're living mortgage free, and you had $1,200 plus on top of that every month.
Correct. And on top of that, we converted the 1-car garage into a studio apartment. Okay. So that was like the first conversion that I ever did.
Okay.
And I did it the getaway. I didn't pull permits. I didn't know back then, how to do it, the right way. So I did do it with no permits. So I don't do that anymore because obviously it doesn't make sense on the refi and whatnot. But yeah, I think it cost about $15,000 to convert the garage. Okay. And to this day, it's rented from anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000.
Wow, so there's another extra $1,500, $2,000. So like it's a perfect like burr or like cash flowing rental that you live in, like a house hack, right? So
exactly.
Amazing.
So I was basically netting probably like $3,000 a month.
Okay.
Living for free. And I was like, man, this is really awesome. We should keep going. We should multiply this. Yeah. Exactly.
By like 30 of these guys, right? So
exactly. So after a year, I bought a new primary.
Okay.
And then what I did is the master bedroom that I was living in.
Okay.
Out of a window, I put a door, and I added a web bar to the master bedroom. Okay, so I basically turned it into another efficiency. Okay. And to this day, now the main house is rented as a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
Okay.
A 1-bedroom efficiency, and then the 1-bedroom apartment in the garage. Wow, so now it's technically a 3.
So what is that guy rented out total right now?
It probably grosses anywhere from like $500 to $7,500 a month.
And your mortgage is still $1,200 a month.
Well, I refinanced it. I pulled some equity out, and I think it's now $1,600. But still,
it's
still
it's very high cash flow.
It pays the bills. It pays the bills. It pays the electric bill. And actually, that house now, I bought an RV
Okay.
And I put an RV in the back.
Okay.
And I rented that thing for $1,200 a month.
Wow. So like, how much are you cash flowing net on that house right now?
I probably want to say maybe $4,000 a month.
So I mean, literally, like that one house is enough to basically what other guys making like their entire salary like every year, like $4,000 a month, cash flow net. It's like literally like if you want to retire like right after that one house, you could just retire already.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean $4,000 nowadays doesn't go a long way, but yeah.
I mean like a modest life, right? I mean like you're saying like if you had $4,000 a month, 100% passive income, you could never work for the rest of your life and just live off the passive income from one rental. That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I bought that probably for $189.
Okay,
and it's probably now worth $525.
Wow. So I mean it's gone up a lot in value. So you have equity storages. Dude, it's a killer like deal all the way around. So
yeah, that's been a good deal for sure.
So the first one you bought, then you bought a second one. What did the second one look like?
So the second one was a pretty interesting deal. It's a regular 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay.
It had a carport.
Okay.
And it had a shed in the back. That was a pretty big shed.
Okay.
That was already had the plumbing for a bathroom.
Okay.
And so what we did was we converted the back shed
into
a tiny house. We made it beautiful.
Wow. Okay.
We redid everything.
Added like plumbing and
So basically full kitchen
or
not full kitchen, like a semi kitchen.
Like
I would say I call it a wet bar.
Okay.
Wet bar, full bathroom, about 180 square feet. Believe it or not. So it wasn't too
on
big.
the smaller side, but I mean like it's
small.
livable. So yeah.
But on Airbnb back then, it used to do about $1,500 a month, which was the mortgage for that house.
Wow. Okay.
And then we did the same exact strategy. We lived in the master bedroom, rented out the other 2 rooms on Airbnb, and then converted the carport into.
During this whole time when you're doing this, was your wife on board? Did you have to guys fight over like the living situation?
No. So my wife was always cool with it. To be honest with you, yeah, she was. She's always been like a gypsy, and
she's down.
Yeah, she was down. And she was also younger. Like we got married when she was 19. I was 25.
Okay.
We're both Colombian, so I guess we're used to just moving and
just hustling. Yeah. She was down for
she's
like
also
the
a hustler
cause.
too. So yeah, I think that we both were all like on the right mindset of like, hey, look, we're gonna live here for a year. We're gonna fully furnish it, and she got to do what she loves. She loved to decorate and she loved to do all that.
Nice.
So it was like, hey, it's a new project that you can decorate.
Yeah.
It's a new project that you can like pick the finishes and stuff. So she was like, it was a win-win for her. So yeah.
Because I mean, there are a lot of times when like I think when you're starting in real estate, you see like couples where one person is like they're all about it, the other person like I don't want to live like this, like But the fact that your wife was down, like it probably made like the journey in life so much more easy.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, she definitely helped out. Now the third one was a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
Because she was like,
wait. So before I get to the third one,
yeah, sure.
So the first one's cash flowing $4,000 a month.
Yeah, $4,000
net. The second one, how much are you cash flowing the second one?
So that one's one of my dude. It's actually a 5-bedroom. Basically at the end of it, it's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, and it's only like 1,500 square feet.
Okay.
So it's like one of the smallest units that I have, and it grosses about the same, about $5,000 to $7,000 a month. Roughly.
Okay. And then you net what, like about the same thing, like
about the same. Yeah.
So you're basically got $8,000 in passive income.
Yeah.
From 2 houses. And then so basically you can retire like $8,000. Like if you were to just quit right there, 2 houses would give you $8,000 for the rest of your life. Probably more as the rents go up and like the mortgage is gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Awesome, freaking awesome job.
Thank
there.
you, bro.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
So second house, okay. How did you? And then tell me the third one.
So the third one was like one of the biggest ones. This one was 3,000 square feet, and it was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath when we bought it. It had a 2-car carport. And it just had a weird layout. It had a bunch of like weird additions in the back, and it was really, really ugly. And she didn't really like that property. She had really fallen in love with because we actually moved into the carport conversion.
Okay.
And she like designed it. She fell in love with it, and she was like, "No, like this is the one that I love. Please let me stay." So I had to negotiate with her more than I had to negotiate with the seller to get that deal done. And basically, what I told her was like, "Look, right now we're in a 1-car carport. If we move into this one, we can move into the 2-car carport, and we'll be able to have more space, so you can decorate it and do whatever you want." So finally, after like months of negotiating with her, she's like, "You know what? Fine, let's do it. I trust you. Let's go." And so we turned that house into a 7-bedroom, 5-bath. So we added 2 bathrooms on that one, converted the garage. Obviously, pulled the permits and made it an ADU. Did a full kitchen on it, like really made it really nice. And we lived there for about 3 years.
And how much was that guy rented for total?
So that one, again, it's about the same.
Okay.
I mean, it's maybe a little bit more because it's bigger. This one's probably like 6,000 to 8,000 roughly.
And then
And that one was a little bit more expensive.
6,000
I think the mortgage on that
like,
one's about $3,000.
Okay, so maybe about 3,000 to 4,000 in net.
I would say about 3,000,
okay,
because it has a little bit more like higher taxes and all that. So about 3,000 a month.
So 4,000, 4,000, 3,000, basically like net for like all your rentals, and so you're looking at like what was that? $11,000 a month in passive income for rentals from 3 properties.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are you thinking at this time? I mean, like, are you like, I did it. What's going through your mind as far as after you did that third one?
No, I mean, even to this point, I'm like, dude, this is just the beginning. Like, I'm just laying the foundation. No, I was just thinking, dude, this is more money so we can keep reinvesting and buying more property and buying more property. So I never really bought any like luxury toys until last year, really. And I've always been just frugal, living below my means. We were living in a 400 square foot garage conversion for a very long time.
Okay.
Owning a bunch of properties, and we were just living there. Honestly, I mean, even right now, I live very humbly. But yeah, we just kept taking that money and just reinvesting it, saving it up, buying more properties, buying more rentals.
So what
flips.
does your portfolio look like today?
So right now, I have 75 units.
75 units.
Of those 75, I think 56, 57 of them are Airbnbs. We do midterm rentals.
Okay.
And then the other ones are either flipping or wholesaling.
So wait, just trying to calculate this in my head right now. So 75 units.
Yeah, 75
and
units.
a bunch of them are Airbnbs or
most of them are Airbnbs.
And so what are you cash flowing gross with all these guys right now?
It could be anywhere from like 130 to 150 a month.
Okay, and then what's like your net? What's your mortgages? What's your net you're taking away?
Yeah, mortgages are about 95.
Okay.
Net could be anywhere from like 20 to 25,000 roughly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gotta be more than that, right? So if you're,
I have a lot of expenses, man.
Okay.
I do. I bought some toys. I have a lot of staff. And taxes are high, super high.
In Florida, that's why.
Yeah, well, state taxes.
Insurance.
State taxes are really high. Like
So
I have like 2 or 3 properties that just the taxes alone are like 10 grand a year.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah.
So I mean, like, as a portfolio, I mean, but then like, so you basically build a portfolio that's netting you passively like about 25 grand a month.
Yeah.
And so like literally like if you were to like quit and like live on the beach and never work, you could live a very comfortable life at 25 grand a month and like I never lift a finger for anything.
Pretty much. Yeah. And when I went to Hawaii for the first time, that was a thought. I was like, dude, this is freaking amazing. Let's just sell everything and just live here forever. So I've had that thought once or twice for sure.
Dude, amazing.
Yes,
amazing.
Yes.
So I mean, like as you're kind of building this portfolio, was it pretty straightforward? It seems like pretty seamless. Was there any ever challenges or things along the way?
Dude, it's been crazy, man. It's been a wild ride. I mean, I can't tell you that it's been easy, man. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of nights with no sleep, a lot of stress for sure. But it's definitely been, an interesting ride with Airbnb, as you know, because I know that you're an Airbnb.
We do a little bit. Yeah, we do a little bit.
Yeah. So we've had some pretty interesting experiences. So during COVID, we actually had a crazy call. Okay. It was like 2:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And it's during the pandemic. This is probably like March 29th or something like that. Right after
the world shut down.
There was a quarantine. We couldn't leave the house. Yeah. It was nuts. Even in Florida, which is pretty flexible. I get a call from one of my tenants and one of our rentals that was divided in 3 different units.
Or like
it was an Airbnb.
Okay.
It was rented in 3 different units.
Okay.
And he calls me and he's like, hey, man, you know what's going on in your house, right? We have cops all over. There's ambulances. Somebody's dying. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean? No one's told me anything. He's like, yeah, man, you got to come over. And so he basically tells me that somebody has passed away.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, what the heck is happening?
In your Airbnb.
In my Airbnb. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy. And so I call the tenant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what's going on? And she's like unresponsive, doesn't answer. I have to go to the property and basically come to find out one of the tenants that we have essentially was like, I don't know if she was like a prostitute or whatever the case. But anyway, she basically was doing crazy drugs and overdosed one of the people. Wow.
One of her friends or something.
It was the guy that actually did the booking. The guy that did the booking and
for your Airbnb?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she gave him drugs and he overdosed in your property.
Yeah. So that was a pretty crazy pretty
so
crazy.
Did he end up making it or what would happen?
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that the ambulance took him, and like I was like, "Dude, lady, what the heck's going on? Like, you are freaking wild. Why? What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she was like, not in a good state of mind. And I was like, "Look, this is nuts. Like, you have like a week left, and like you're out. So, yeah, dude, it was a crazy experience. And 2 days later, she did it again.
Really?
She did it again, dude. It was crazy, man. It was a different guy. And we were like, dude, what the heck is this lady doing, dude? So it was like, is this her business or what? Like, dude, it was wild. Anyway, we kicked her out, and that was the end of it. My neighbors didn't like me for a very long time. I had to definitely do some work to get them to like me again. But yeah, dude, that was wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, whenever you're dealing with like tenants or like with people, you're always gonna have like challenges. And so and then Airbnb, you're always getting more like newer guests, and depending on like who books it, like you can't control that, right? So
yeah, it's wild. I haven't had anything crazier than that, but
sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah. And we've had some other like funny things like people partying. I think my wife walked into like a threesome or something like that. There's been some crazy stuff like that on that, but besides that, nothing
like
too
super illegal.
Yeah. So we had some people like cooking some like some weed stuff. I don't know. It's Airbnb stuff,
Yeah.
So it happens.
So now that you have this portfolio that's like performing really well, passive income, I think a lot of people who are listening or who are aspiring to get into real estate, their dream is just, I just want passive income. If I can get 25 grand passively a month, like I'm golden, I'm set,
Yeah.
So what's like your thought process? Are you like going to retire soon? Are you going to like continue going, or where you want to go with this thing?
Yeah. So I think that, 26 years old, something came to me and it was like, Andres, you need to do something bigger for the planet, right?
Okay.
And so my company is called ecologic, right? And one of the goals that I have is to build sustainable housing and solve the affordable housing crisis as well.
Okay.
So
around the
world.
Around the world.
I would love to do it around the world. Yeah, pretty much. So build sustainable communities, build sustainable high rises, produce houses that consume less energy. That produce more energy than they consume.
So like solar and like whatever.
Solar, water reclamation, wind energy, electric vehicles, right?
Water catchment maybe.
Water catchment, exactly. And then kitchens that actually grow food. Right, using hydroponics, having a fruit and vegetable garden instead of having grass.
How did you come up with this idea?
Dude, it's just been like something that just has been coming to me. It's kind of like the vision of like what the future should be. Right? And that's now my goal. So as far as retiring, I don't think that I'm ever gonna stop, because it's a goal that it's never gonna end. Right? It's basically all about helping the planet, helping the people, helping Mother Earth. And doing it in real estate, like basically changing the way that we build, changing the way that we live, and changing the way we interact with Mother Earth and nature. What
was the catalyst? Did you read a book? Did you like listen to a podcast? Get around other people who are like care about the planet? Like where was it? Like the fire come from?
I mean, I've been going on a spiritual journey, and I think somewhere down the road, I found internal peace. And in the internal peace, it made me realize that first I found inner peace within myself, and I found, I find myself very happy. And then I realized, okay, what's next, right? We are here for what, right? Not just to make money. We're here to, first find inner peace, and then secondly, help others, right?
Yeah.
And when I think about helping others, I think Mother Earth is really the one that really needs help right now the most. The animals right now need help the most, because I think it's just we're kind of taking advantage of animals right now. So I feel like it was like something that deep inside was like, dude, this is what I need to do. We need to help the planet. We need to help Mother Earth. We need to build communities that are different.
So what's like the plan to start building some of these houses or these communities? Like, do you have like a vision of how you're going to do it? What markets and stuff?
Yeah. So this year, actually, starting December, we're actually going to break ground into
2024.
2024, into our first new construction project.
Okay.
So we partnered up with a friend of mine in Florida.
Okay.
With a friend of mine. His company is EcoVision.
Okay, so ecologic and EcoVision.
Exactly. So we're building a 6-unit townhome project.
Okay.
And it's gonna have everything that we spoke about: solar panels, water reclamation.
So like let's break this down. So like it's gonna be made out of just like sticks, like brick. Is it like drywall? I mean, like the lumber and everything. So like a stick house.
It is gonna be wood framed. Yes.
And then like break it down, all the different parts of it that makes it like an eco-friendly.
So wood framed.
Okay, wood framed.
And then we're gonna use SIP panels.
What is that?
The SIP panels are the insulated foam panels.
Okay.
Have you seen them? Like some people that build with manufactured homes, they use them. So we're gonna use those.
It saves energy. It does like.
It is very energy efficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the second floor. Like the first floor is gonna be sticks. Second floor is gonna be the SIP panels.
Okay.
And it's gonna have the flat roof.
Okay. Why the flat roof or the?
It's just more eco-friendly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's easier for the for the solar panels.
Okay, so solar panels on top for electricity.
Yeah.
The
Water reclamation. To collect.
Can you explain that?
Water reclamation is like the water catchment. Is what you guys call it. Yeah.
So you can like basically water comes down to your roof. You catch it in the gutters. It goes down to like a system. Then the water that rains is the water that you use for like your bathing or like things through a filtration system.
Not for bathing. No. Okay. So in Florida, it's actually illegal to do a water catchment and use it inside the house.
Oh, really?
It is. So we are only going to use it for the outside.
So like watering the grass or those kind of
watering
things.
The grass and watering the fruit and vegetable garden.
Okay.
So we're going to have very limited amounts of grass.
Okay.
And we're focusing more on building a fruit and vegetable garden.
Inside the house or outside the house?
Outside the house.
Okay.
And inside the house, in the kitchen, we're going to have a hydroponic system.
And so
that people can grow.
What's hydroponics? Can you explain what that is?
Hydroponics is basically an automatic system that has water that basically grows fruits and vegetables in your kitchen. And I actually, in my house right now, in my living room, I have 2 big hydroponic systems where I'm growing cilantro, I'm growing onions, I'm growing beans, okra. So I'm doing this right now.
That sounds very interesting.
It's pretty awesome. It's like pretty automated, basically.
How much does it cost to set something like that up?
So each of my towers was $600.
Okay.
The organic seeds were $30.
Okay.
So it's really not that costly. So that's pretty much just, I mean, it obviously is, it's on at all times. It has the LED lights, so it's turned on.
So the LED
and it
lights
also waters itself as well.
So the LED lights basically replaces the sun.
Correct.
So like that's like how like it gets like the plants like get like the energy and everything. So
exactly.
Very interesting.
And so I literally can make my salads out of what I'm growing. And so that's kind of the concept behind, just being a little bit more sustainable, growing our own food, being more in contact with real food, and then just being connected, being more connected with Mother Earth and nature. Really.
So like you're building a 6-unit building. Each of them are having 2 stories, like up and down, and then hydroponics, solar, the water catchment, anything else to make it eco-friendly?
So each unit is actually going to be a 5-bedroom, 4-bath.
Okay.
And so one of the other things that we want to do is affordability, right? So each unit, we're actually going to sell it below market value.
Wow. Okay.
So it would probably appraise for about $450,000. We're going to sell them at about $400,000. Because we want to actually help solve the affordable housing crisis. We want to actually provide a product that is going to help and is going to be affordable for people.
Like a lot of investors will say like they want to like help like people, families, and provide affordable housing.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do, but they usually will maximize the profit that's available.
I know.
You guys are like literally like leaving like, so 6 times 50, you're literally leaving like $300,000 on the table by offering them at a discount.
And I'll be honest with you, dude, this is the first time that I'm ever doing this. Okay. It's like, it goes against like subconsciously, like my investor's like, dude, what are you doing? So that's why I partnered up with EcoVision.
Okay.
He was the one that actually inspired me to do that. He was the one that was like, hey, dude, let's sell below market value. I'm like, dude, you're fucking crazy. What are you talking about? I don't want to do that. So I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah. It does sound crazy. Yeah. Even talking about it right now. But the long-term play is just to catch attention of the government, people,
build goodwill,
investors, and really do something good for the community, just so we can really scale this at a larger level. Yeah. So I'm trusting him in doing this, and I think it's going to be a good investment too for the community. And so, by the way, so it also has 1 ADU in the back. So one of the reasons why we built it the way we built it is so the people that buy it, and we're not going to rent them, we're going to sell them.
They can rent it out to somebody else.
They could start figuring out how real estate works.
5.4 plus an ADU, or is
no,
it the
5.4 includes the
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically it's it has a 1.1 in the back and it's a 4.3 basically. But there's another space. There's like another 1-bedroom, 1-bath studio in the middle of the house. So technically if they wanted to, they could have 2 ADUs.
Interesting.
So we made it like that just to kind of put that in their head, kind of drop a little seed in their mind to be like, this is a way to make money. This is how real estate could work. So that was another reason why we did that. So we could share with them how that works.
This is like the perfect kind of house hack as for a starting home. Like somebody like yourself, maybe you're younger, right? Like you and your wife, like move into the ADU, rent out to other parts, we'll cover the mortgage, and kind of start your journey. Duplicate exactly what you've done in the last 5 or 6 years of like house hacking to next house hack to next house hack, and then just like building up your rental portfolio and your net worth just through like smart real estate decisions.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that this is going to be a great starter for somebody who is going to see the vision.
Yeah.
And if they want to run with it and duplicate what we've done, why not?
How soon do you think you guys are gonna finish like the 6 units?
So we have projected about, my partner's the one that's like the GC, and he's the one that's going to be like doing most of the, the managing. I'm obviously going to be doing it too. We're basically putting both of our crews together. Whenever he says 9 months, I think that's like a total,
like that.
I think that's
permitting,
a little bit short.
Construction and everything.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, so like whenever we have partnerships, there's always everybody brings something to the table.
Yeah.
What do you bring to the table, and what does your partner bring to the table in this case?
So he's the GC.
Okay.
So he's the one that's like pulling the permits.
Okay.
He has a lot of the he knows a lot about doing the plans. So he's the one that's done most of the plans. I brought in the capital.
Okay.
And
when you say brought in the capital, the hard money and private money?
Yeah, I put basically the money for... Yeah, I basically bought the fund the hard money and put the money for the down payment, basically.
Is it your own cash, or is that you find
That was
investors?
my own cash. That was my own cash. That was my own cash, and then I found the hard money as well.
Okay.
To help us close the deal quickly. And I'm also helping with like the construction loan as well, using my credit, using his credit. So we're both leveraging both of our credits, our experience, and then we're also both leveraging our crews because over the last 10 years, I have a really good electrician that gives me really good pricing. I have a really good plumber, so I have all these different trades that will be able to give us a really, really good discount, so we could build it out and do it at a good cost. So we can pass on that savings on to.
When you guys do end up selling it for hopefully for a profit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, are you guys gonna split it 50-50?
Yep, it's a 50-50 split. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds amazing. Like, I mean, what are you projected you'll make on all 6 combined together?
It's hard to tell. I'm not really sure. I think we're probably gonna make. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm hoping to do. I think just from the projections, about 100,000 per.
Okay. I mean, that's very good. I mean, like you do need some margin in case like things go over or this kind of, like etc. Right? But like it sounds like there's a healthy enough margin for you guys to still walk away with some money, but also provide savings to the homeowners.
Yeah, because we're putting in the solar panels, so that's gonna be a little bit of an extra cost. Like we're gonna be doing additional things that most people wouldn't. Again, so we can, and honestly, we want to be like, we're going to try to be on like TV, right? Like we want to do some like really good things for advertising and marketing.
Okay.
So we can really spread that program around because, I didn't even tell you like the free app. So my partner has a free app.
What do you mean by free app?
A free app that we're going to give the 6 people that buy our houses, right? And the free app basically teaches them a lot about how to take care of their house.
So it's like an iPhone app or something you can click on. It has like just some things.
Exactly.
Did you guys develop that or how did you?
So that's my partner's app.
Okay.
So he developed it with
because it costs money to develop something like this, right? So like, what does that app run him? Do you know?
I have no idea how much it costs him, but so my partner, he's right now he's a beast too. He is has like over $100 million worth of like projects right now that he's developing.
Okay. Wow.
So he has a very large infrastructure for that, and that app he's using for all those other land development projects. And we're able to utilize it on.
So he's pretty big time when it comes to the development things.
Correct.
So he has all the experience. He brings a lot of like the clout. So even though like you're putting a lot of like you're bringing your crews, you're bringing the money, you're bringing the deal and all the things, then his clout and his like leverage and experience is kind of like what he's bringing to the table.
Correct.
And then as you guys, and so this is really cool because as you guys are doing this one project, you could make $300,000 more, but you're kind of giving it up to give to the homeowners. At the same time, it also be some good publicity and it might open some doors open to like some bigger opportunities in the future.
Exactly. That's the play.
I was actually talking to this other guy. And he's like, "Hey, like, if you want to make a lot of money, you gotta get on these nonprofit boards. And then the thing is, like, you get on these nonprofit boards, you just donate a crap ton of money and get noticed and get into these different rooms. When you get into these different rooms, people give you opportunities that are not available to you. And so even now, we're just breaking into some of these rooms where that it's like we've had enough success where like we've been noticed." And we're getting thrown these crazy deals. And so there's a deal that's on the table right now that will make like $2 million.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, just because we had some success and we got into the right rooms. And it's like, it's kind of an unfair game because like the more success that you have, the better and greater your opportunities. Like, but when you're first just starting out, like you're selling Cutco knives or the roses, like your opportunities are so limited because you haven't gotten that far yet. But now you got passive income, you got a high net worth, and you have so much like more like money for yourself. Right. But now you have way bigger opportunities for the future now that you kind of get into these different rooms,
Interesting. Yeah. Wow, you just gave me an idea of wait, would it make sense to donate the $50,000 into the nonprofit?
So I mean, here's a way that I've kind of seen what he was talking about work is like whenever like you want to get, so some of these rooms like where you get these big opportunities is you just got to get people who have access to this to like you, right? It's like that we like Andres, what you're doing, etc. And so like if you donate to their cause or to like their things, sometimes it's political, sometimes it's just other business owners, and like they can like give you the contract, they can give you this opportunity, they can give whoever they want the opportunities, right? And so like this deal that's gonna make $2 million, they could give it to whoever they want, right? But because of like we made a friend and they like us for whatever various reasons, we add some value to them. They're like, I'll just give this opportunity to Daniel and his team, right? And so the same way when you're in these nonprofit like things, like when you look at who's on the nonprofit boards, it's all basically rich people who are very successful in business, and they're dealing with your friend, your developer, dealing with millions of dollars, right? And so like whenever you're at that level, they just have like they have access to like divvy up the profits however they want, right? So like you donate to their nonprofit or like to get on their good side, right? They're like, just by default, and you make friends with them, like they're okay, let's give you the next opportunity. And then so that's how like this whole world on this upper level of like business I've seen kind of like start to open up, you know. So I mean there might be something to like, I mean, where you donate the money. So maybe from a business standpoint, it might be better to donate to like a specific nonprofit or what it is. But I mean like it also matters like what are your goals as like the trying to provide, but I'm just kind of telling you like what we've experienced and what we kind of seen, you know. So
interesting. Yeah, we've also been open to like paying their closing costs, right? Like figuring out what to do with that equity, right? Either pay their closing cost, either do like a down payment assistance program, do some sort of help so they could, you know,
buy down their rate or something to like make it like easier for them to qualify.
Exactly.
So.
And like kind of like Habitat for Humanity, how like they teach them how to maintain their home and take care of their home. So the app has something similar to that, but it's more of like an overall like teaching them how to you know create their own LLC, how to run their own taxes.
Can anybody download money, the app, or is it like?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not sure. Possibly.
I mean, maybe if it's cool.
I think there's a subscription for everybody else.
But for you guys, it'll be free. I love it. I love that. I mean, so I mean, the thing is like there is value to this thing, right? It is a paid app, but because like you guys have access to it, you're gonna give it to these new homeowners for free so they can apply it to their lives.
Correct.
I love that. I love that.
And we're gonna follow up with them and make sure that they, you know, they apply, you know, what we have on the app. And it also talks about nutrition, eating healthier, you know, staying active, taking care of your body. So it's more of like an overall holistic way of like life and teaching them and just, you know, helping more. Yeah.
You know what's very cool about what you guys are doing is that I hear a lot of people all the time say like, I care about the earth, I recycle, whatever, but like, you can tell where somebody really cares about by their time and their money. Where do they put their time and their money, right? So like some people are like, yeah, I care about the earth, but you look at, do they ever give any money to like any kind of causes for the earth, or do they spend any time for these causes, right? But like you guys are like living proof where like you guys are giving like substantial amount of money and time for this cause, and so like we can really tell that you really, really care about the earth and this cause, you know?
Yeah, like for like my diet, for example. So I don't eat any animals.
Okay.
For that reason, because I think that it's better for the environment to not eat animals.
Okay.
Interesting. And I care for the animals, right? Okay. I feel like we're all equal, and yeah, I feel like you know, the way that we treat animals is just not. It's not the right way to do it, in my opinion. So that I think that leaves a little bit of a better impact in the world when I die. I also drive a Tesla, so it's electric, you know, so no gas, so that's good. I have the hydroponics in my house. And we're working on getting solar panels on all our houses.
The hydroponics is cool. I feel like my wife might like that. So I might at least pick your brain later on just how to set it up and see if my wife might be into that.
It's easy, man. It's easy. Like it waters itself. It lights itself up. I mean, it's pretty cool.
So I mean, like, how does that work? Like is it run off electricity?
Yeah, it's connected.
LEDs, and then like when you say it waters itself, how does that work?
Yeah, so basically it has a reservoir on the bottom, and it has a pump. Okay. And the pump basically just connects up top, and it has like a drip.
Kind of like a rain,
system.
like a little rainish
kind of like
thing,
a rain,
so mimic that.
And it has a timer, so you can set it up to, you know, water twice a day and whatnot, and it does it, you know.
And so it pulls in like fresh water every time, or does like recycle anything, or how does that work?
It has the water reservoir on the bottom.
Okay.
So you do have to like check probably once a week the pH level to make sure that it doesn't become too acidic, and you have like the right things to like all the minerals and stuff to put it in. You have food, you know, for the, you know, to put in the water as well.
Interesting. So like nutrients for the plants kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then like it can be like in your house, like in your kitchen or wherever, and you basically like you're growing like fresh fruits and plants.
Pretty much. Like, dude, I had one vision, because I get a lot of different visions. One of the visions was, Andres, you know how Elon Musk removed the engine, right?
Yeah.
from the vehicle.
The trunk,
and,
right?
and put the
front,
you know,
right?
yeah. Now he made the electric vehicle. He's like, you need to remove the oven and the microwave from the kitchen and put a hydroponic tower in there.
I'm not sure.
I was like, wait, what? This is insane. Because, you know, have you heard that, like, when you cook your food, you're kind of killing most of, like, what's good about it? And most of the time,
well,
like,
it depends what you're cooking. If you're cooking vegetables, you're killing the nutrients. But if you're cooking like meat, like you're
you kind of have to, for sure.
It depends on what you're.
Exactly.
So if you're a vegetarian, I could see how that would work. But I mean, if you're cooking like steak, you need like the.
You definitely got to cook the steak. Yeah, you can't eat that thing raw. Well, actually, some people would argue that you
depending
can.
on the grade. Yeah, but that's really interesting.
So that was one of the things that I was like, okay, would the world be a better place if we all had that? So that was an interesting thought that I had, because you know, you do hear that, like, you kill the food when you cook it. So I was like, okay, well, that was an interesting vision. Thank you for that. I also had a vision of having, like, the driveway set up with solar panels too.
Okay.
Right?
Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so there's different companies that, like, have so there is, like, a solar roadway company.
I've heard about that something
before. So it is coming. And yeah, it makes electricity obviously from the sun, but also from the friction with the tires. And it also is pretty cool because it has, like, really cool lighting fixtures. So I was just thinking of, like, dude, let's make a whole community where the whole grid is really like a solar panel, right? And I was like, okay, that's a pretty cool concept. And then I had another vision of, like, building houses with recycled plastic and trash.
What do you mean?
Like, turning a problem into a solution, right?
Okay.
So in Colombia, there's actually a guy that's his name is Andres.
Okay.
And he
Good
actually
name.
has I know, it's really cool, a recycling company.
Okay.
And he actually builds it's like Lego blocks basically out of these, you know, out of the recycling, and he actually has homeless people build their own homes with these Lego
with recycling.
Bricks.
Interesting.
Yeah, basically. So he has that program in Colombia, and I was like, man, this concept is amazing. Like, this is the future, like turning a problem into a solution instead of it going to our oceans. Why not build affordable housing?
He takes like the recyclable cans and bottles, turns them into bricks.
Correct.
And now it's basically like giant, like real life Lego that you can kind of build.
Exactly. And he has the homeless people building, so now they can build their own home.
That's really, really interesting.
So that's my long-term play. Like, this is really, like, where I want to go.
Yeah.
Like, the problem solution, affordable, sustainable, energy efficient, conscious. All those things. That's really, like, where my passion is and what I want to do and, like, what I want to promote.
I've never heard anybody, like, honestly, like, most investors I talk to, like, we don't care about the environment.
Right.
And so, like, you're one of the few, I feel like, maybe the only one I know who's, like, actually, like, very eco-friendly and cares about these things. But I can tell you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's I don't know. I have something inside me that just says that, hey, dude, this is what you need to follow. And obviously I'm not perfect. I try. In my flips, I'll be honest with you, I'm not as eco-friendly as I should. I would love to, like, anything that's vintage, try to, like, and I've tried to do it too. I've tried to, like, maintain, like, an old, you go into these houses that are super old and they have, like, old school things. I've tried to do, like, the full remodel without having to gut them.
The challenge though for that is, like,
it's tough, man.
It's crazy that it's cheaper to just dump it and start
It
fresh.
is.
Though, so, like, the thing is, like, you would think, like, by saving it you'd be saving money too, but it's actually more expensive. And so I mean, that's the sad thing, like, you know, it's like where, I mean, like, you like to keep the character and try to reuse as much as you can, but just economically, it just makes more sense to just, like, wipe it clean and just start from fresh.
Exactly. Fresh. So I've tried doing that, like, 2 or 3 times and it didn't work. Like, so I was like, man, I wish I could be more eco-friendly with this, but we got to.
So you got the ground up going. Are you guys still flipping houses? What else are you guys doing?
So in the last 6 months, I've only bought maybe like 6 or 7 houses. I've slowed down a little bit on the flipping, and I've been focusing more on wholesaling right now. Wholesaling and then lending.
Okay.
So
wholesaling and lending. How'd you get into, like, the lending space?
So I got my lending license in 2020.
Okay.
And I just did the simple math. I was a retail agent at the time. Back then, I was selling about 10 million a year.
Okay, as a retail agent.
As a retail agent, solo. And of those 10 million, about 6 million were on the buyer side.
Okay.
And of that 6 million, I think about 5 million, it was lending, right?
So you had your lending license.
Yes. Okay, so I did the math. It was basically $5 million worth of loans that I was referring out to.
Oh, so you're referring out to other people.
And I did the math, and I'm like, wait a minute, can I make money on this? And legally, you cannot get paid a
As a
referral
fee,
fee
okay.
unless you have your license.
So if you have your license as an agent, you can get a referral fee from the other lender.
If you have your license, you can.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I basically did the math, and I talked to my local lender, and I'm like, hey, man, if I got my license, can you legally pay me? He's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And basically, it was about 1%.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, so I'm leaving about $50,000 a year on the table.
Wow,
and that's a straight referral. You don't have to do anything. I don't have to become a lender.
Because you're going to refer regardless, right? It's just whether or not you have your license.
So then I did the math. I'm like, so I can now make an additional $50,000 a year for something that I'm already doing.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything else except spend 30 hours to get my license. And now I have an additional $50,000 a year. And I was like, dude, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to do it. I took a month and I got my license.
That's crazy. I've never heard anybody else like talk about it. But I mean, it seems like from the way that you explain it, it seems like a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Once you break it down, and if the numbers make sense, and you're referring out enough money to a lender, it totally makes sense. It's a one-time investment of your time for passive income for the rest of your life.
There's a ton of agents who are doing like, let's say 10 million plus, and 5 million plus in buyers, whatever, like loans.
Exactly.
So I mean, like that's 50 grand. Like they're all leaving on the table by not having their license.
Exactly.
Wow,
so
really
once I ran that math, I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't do as much retail anymore.
Okay.
Now I've basically focused more on the wholesaling side.
Okay.
But I applied that same concept to wholesaling. So anytime that I sell the wholesale deal, I'm like, hey man, are you using cash or hard money? And if they're using cash, I'm like, well, let's look at it. And I basically give them the breakdown of
hard money
what's
versus
better.
cash.
Like what is the best return cash on cash?
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, dude, you're gonna double your cash on cash return, and you're gonna double the volume that you'll be able to do, so you'll make a lot more money. So 9 times out of 10, I was able to get the cash buyers to actually convert to hard money.
Okay.
And the people that already came with hard money, I just told them, hey, just send me a net sheet and I'll beat it. Okay. Whatever you have, I'll beat it.
Really?
Yeah, because even if I make 1% or 0.5%, I don't care. I want to make sure that I can control the deal and I can build a relationship with that guy, because he'll either need a refi in the future or he's going to be a repeat customer.
Buying more houses, right?
Exactly. So it's all about building the relationship. So now, when I first started, I was only doing about 20-30% of the hard money loans of the wholesale deals that I'm doing. But now it's up to like 70%.
So
now, most of
you
the time,
you send it to another hard money lender, but you get a referral fee from that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I'm still pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically about the same. I don't charge a whole lot. I basically just charge 1 point. Again, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to get rich on the hard money.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of these things is it's a long-term play, right? Like relationships, and so
I get the refi, I get the DSCRs.
Yeah, and when they'll come back to you, they'll tell their friends about you. Like you're getting the repeat customers. Even the hard money lender that we use, like we love her so much that like we'll refer all of our friends to her, except we don't want her to get too busy that she can't service us. Like that's our only concern. So as long as we tell her, hey, we're the priority, as long as you understand that, we'll refer you a ton of business all day, So that's at least with our lender, because we love her, like great service and like good rates and everything. So
yeah, that is good. Yeah, I mean that could be another vertical that you could also open up. I mean, if you get your license.
Yeah, you got me thinking. I mean, I think at least in this case, I think I got enough on my plate. So
you probably do. Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it's just like interesting to see how you're maximizing the opportunities, right? Because there's just so much opportunities that a lot of people just pass by, or don't take advantage of because they're not even aware of that. Because I didn't even know this was possible until like just now. So having this conversation is like, you got me thinking. I don't know. We need to do more thinking about this, but I didn't even know that was like a thing. So it's very interesting.
And then also, every time that we sell a wholesale deal, we let them know that we're also licensed. And that we do a full service listing. And we offer them a 1% commission.
On the back end side.
On the back end side, 1% commission.
So they get a good deal on the sales side at a discounted like realtor fees. And I mean, so like, you're genius. You're vertically integrating like your whole business into all these wholesale deals.
Exactly. And now we're just starting to get into, just bought into a roofing company, or just partnered with a roofing company. I know, it's another vertical, because again, dude, we're selling all these roofs and most of them need roofs. That's the thing, right?
But all the deal, I mean, the wholesale deals you're selling.
Correct. Most of them need roofs. I would say about 40% of them need to do new roofs. And we haven't started this yet, but we will. Every time that we sell a wholesale deal, we're gonna give them a quote
for the roof.
For a roof.
Yeah. And if they
and then again, that's just another layer. We haven't started it yet, but it's going to come up. It just to kind of bring them more value.
Yeah.
For the ones that make sense, for the ones that really do need a roof.
So are you guys partnering with a roofing company?
Basically partnered with a roofing company.
Because
a good buddy of mine.
A lot of the times when you look at the roofing companies, people say that I have a roofing company, but what they really have is a sales and marketing company, where the people who are actually like fulfilling it are the contractors,
Right.
but then they need the work. So like the roofing company is really just like the front that's like marketing and finding the business and funneling it to the roofing company, and then you take a split of whatever like the actual cost is.
Yeah, so the way that we figured it out was basically I bought into a partner or a part of the actual roofing company as a whole, and we basically take it from the beginning. So I was able to. So a friend of mine, he already owned a roofing company for years, and he was only referral based.
Okay.
Right, and it basically happened like, I don't know. It was just meant to be honest with you. Somebody door knocked me trying to sell me a roof, and I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? Like, I'm actually thinking about like partnering up with this guy to do a roofing company. And I was like, hey, are you happy? Like, how much money do you make? And he was basically like, look, dude, I'm not really happy with the company that I'm working with, and I'm actually open to opportunities. And so basically we recruited that guy who was actually like the sales manager to like a 30-person group. And we basically brought this door knocking team onto this company. And so that's kind of how I was basically able to like leverage my way into this company. And
so you add a ton of value to his company first.
Correct.
He saw that what you did.
Correct.
Now he's open to a partnership with you.
Correct. So now we have this team. Obviously, I brought in a lot of my knowledge on business that he didn't have, and now I'm just building like partnerships, like strategic partnerships in the company, so we can make it more profitable. And it's pretty interesting because again, at the end of the day, we are in the roofing business too, like
kind of
flipping houses, dude. All of them have roofs,
Yeah.
dude. So it's like they're never gonna go away. All the houses that we're buying are shitty anyway. They probably need new roofs anyway. And so I was like, dude, this is a pretty good vertical to get into. I actually, I'm part of a couple different masterminds. One of them is the boardroom mastermind, which by the way, if you're not a
is
part
that Clothier?
King Clothier. You should definitely join. Really, really good. And I listened to a lot of different guys that own a bunch of roofing companies that in a matter of 8 years. Like there's a guy, Alex. In 8 years, dude, he's gonna do $150 million this year.
That's like, crazy.
Dude, in 8 years, dude, it's crazy.
I mean, looking at the different companies, I always hear roofing companies do really well. Like,
dude, it's insane.
It's
insane.
It's a huge opportunity, and then you're gonna like it so much. You're gonna screw real estate. I'm just gonna become a roofer.
I don't know, dude. Honestly, I'm selling off some of my houses so I can reinvest and like really turn this into a big. Because the thing is that private equity companies are really like targeting. Roofing companies. And the attorney that actually helped us draw our contract told me, he's like, hey man, last week I helped a 37-year-old sell his 10-year-old roofing company for $44 million.
Wow.
I can help you. By the way, I already have your buyer. You're probably going to exit in 5-10 years. He's like, I already have your buyer. And I can help you set it up and structure it so you can sell.
The thing is that, so like you're the guy who had it originally, he was kind of like, he was just running it, but he was like kind of barely getting by just by referrals, right? So he was like,
but he was doing good. He was doing very well.
Mom and pop, but you guys come in, like you've got like more ambitious scaling energy, right? So like your career is like this, and so you're kind of like gonna supercharge this roofing company. Add in your leadership, like your ideas, your innovation. Take this guy to the next level. And then if you guys are on the same page to sell it, whatever, like let's say in 5 to 10 years, there'll definitely be like a big exit. I love it, man. Like I'm so stoked for you guys. That's so exciting.
And we're gonna add solar too, which is good for the environment.
Love it.
So because roofing and solar goes together. And most of our guys are coming from the solar industry too. So that's gonna be again another add-on to the roofing company.
I love it.
That it just totally makes sense. So super excited about that because I truly believe in solar. I think it's also really good for the environment. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting ride. So like I said, I think I'm just getting started. I don't think I'll ever retire. I think I'm already kind of retired because I don't really wake up like, holy shit, I have to go to work. I enjoy what I do for the most part. Obviously there's stress. But yeah, I don't see myself retiring. And this is basically just the foundation for what's coming next. And yeah, I'm excited to take it to the next level, man.
Super inspiring, bro. So if you could, like, last question for you, if you could leave one piece of advice to like the viewers who are maybe they're starting out or they already have a business, like what's one piece of advice you would give somebody?
Yeah, I would say I've worked on my mindset a lot. And I audit my thoughts every day. And
what do you mean by you audit your thoughts every day?
When I say audit, I mean I feel like I've become the observer of my mind and my thoughts. And anytime that there's something negative in my mind, I trace it to where it's coming from. And a lot of the times, almost all the time, when there's like a sad or whatever negative thought in my head, it's either coming from like past or future, right? I'm either worrying about the future or I'm thinking about the past. And I realized that neither of those moments matter. And it takes away from the now. And a book that has changed my life completely has been The Power of Now.
Okay.
And I read this book over and over again because it has such a simple message, but such a complex message. And it's basically live in the present. Don't worry about the past or future, and you'll be happy. And honestly, I have unlocked my peace, my inner peace, through doing that. And obviously, it's a practice.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Try to be as present as possible, and audit your mind, and focus on yourself, on your mind, on becoming a better person, and removing any limiting beliefs. Because at the end of the day, we live in a very prosperous country. There's so much money laying around. There's so much opportunity. And right now is the time to really make a big impact and to make a lot of money and be successful. And so that's pretty much it. Focus on your mindset and stay positive and focus on the now.
Love it. So if people want to reach out to you or get to know you more or find out more about you, what's the best place to do that?
Yeah, I would say through Instagram, Andres_Airbnb expert.
Okay.
Or on Facebook, Andres Ospina Rivera.
Okay, love it. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you for that.